Imagine you're standing in the middle of a desert, and there's a small auction happening. One seller, a limited supply of water, and two buyers. The first buyer says, "I don't care what it costs. I need it now." The second buyer says, "I'll wait, I'll buy it, but only at my price." For a while, the price doesn't move, and no trade takes place, until the first buyer loses patience. That's the exact moment the price jumps. And here's the part most people get wrong. The price didn't move because of the news. It moved because someone stopped waiting. In this video, you'll see how market orders and limit orders actually work, how impatience chews through liquidity and pushes prices around, how patience creates invisible walls in the market, and why clicking Market Buy quietly costs beginners far more than they expect. Welcome to Martic Finance, where we explain investing concepts in a simple way. But first of all, a quick disclaimer. This is not financial advice. So to understand how prices actually move, we need to look at the one place where every trade is actually decided, and that's not the chart or the news, it's the order book. Imagine a single stock trading around $100. On your screen, you see two sides. On the left are buyers, on the right are sellers, and every line you see is a real instruction from someone saying, "I'm willing to trade, but only at this price." At the top of the buyer side, you might see someone willing to buy at $99.95 for 200 shares, while on the seller side, someone is willing to sell at $100.05 for 150 shares. That small gap between them is called the spread, and nothing happens inside it because no one has agreed yet. As you look deeper, you start to see more levels. Maybe at $100.10 there are another 300 shares for sale, and at $100.20 there's even more. This is important because it tells you something most beginners miss. The order book is not showing you where the price is going, it's showing you how much effort it will take to move it. Sometimes the book is thick, meaning there are lots of shares stacked closely together. Other times it's thin, with very little weighting between price levels, and that's when price tends to move in jumps instead of smooth steps. But even with all of that sitting in the order book, there still isn't an actual price yet. A price only exists the moment a trade happens. So if someone decides they don't want to wait and accepts the $100.05 offer, that becomes the first traded price. Once that trade is done, everything resets slightly. The order book shifts, new orders appear, others disappear, and the market immediately starts searching for the next agreement. This is why every price you see on a chart is really just a history of compromises. Each one formed because one side became more impatient than the other at a specific moment in time. And once you see that clearly, the next question becomes obvious. What actually happens when someone is not willing to wait at all and decides to force that agreement instantly? That's where market orders come in, and now it makes more sense why they exist. A market order is not trying to negotiate a specific price. It is simply an instruction to execute immediately, no matter what price is available at the time. So instead of waiting for $99.95, the buyer is essentially saying, "Just fill me now. I accept whatever the market is offering." And the important thing is that this doesn't interact with just one price. It interacts with the entire order book. It starts at the best available ask, in our example, $100.05, and takes whatever shares are sitting there. If that doesn't fill the full order, it moves to the next level at $100.10, then continues upward until the entire order is complete. This is why market orders are called liquidity takers. They don't add new price levels to the system. They consume the existing ones until there is nothing left at the current prices. That means the final average price you receive depends on how far your order had to travel through the book. That difference between what you expected and what you actually got is called slippage. It's not a fee, but the natural result of urgency meeting limited supply. Everything works fine when there's plenty of liquidity. When there are lots of buyers and sellers stacked closely together, market orders move through the book smoothly and price shifts in small steps. But the situation changes completely when liquidity is thin. Imagine now a stock that looks active on the surface, but the order book is almost empty. There might be a few shares available at $10, then a gap with nothing at $10.10, and suddenly the next sellers are sitting at $10.30 or higher. Now picture what happens when a market buy comes in. It consumes the $10 level instantly, finds nothing in between, and is forced to jump straight to $10.30 just to find the next available shares. That empty space between price levels is what creates gap risk. There is no smooth transition, only sudden jumps from one liquidity pocket to another. A simple way to check liquidity on Yahoo Finance is to look at volume and average volume, which tell you how many shares are actually changing hands each day. Higher numbers usually mean the stock is more liquid, because there's more consistent buying and selling activity. Now, if market orders are what move through the order book, limit orders are what build it in the first place. When someone places a limit order, they are not trying to get filled immediately. Instead, they are choosing a price and waiting. And by doing that, they are effectively adding structure to the market. A trader places a limit buy at $9.90 for a large number of shares. That order just sits there, unmoving. If price drops, it becomes a wall of demand, absorbing selling pressure the moment it reaches that level. Now, the next important detail is how these orders are arranged. If multiple people place limit orders at the same price, they form a queue. And the rule is simple: price first, then time. Whoever arrived earlier gets filled first. But even then, there is no guarantee of execution. If price never reaches your level, you simply stay in the queue, invisible but active. And sometimes, even if price does reach your level, the other side of the market may not be large enough to fill everyone. In that case, you get a partial fill, where only part of your order executes and the rest keeps waiting at the same level. There is also another layer that most beginners never see. In many markets, especially institutional ones, limit orders don't just wait passively, they can actually earn something. By providing liquidity, you're helping the market function, and in some cases, you receive a small rebate for doing so. Meanwhile, market orders are the ones paying a fee to take that liquidity away. A lot of people think a market order is bad and a limit order is safe, but that's not actually how it works. Because when you place a market order, you are not choosing a price, you are choosing certainty. You are accepting whatever the market is offering in exchange for guaranteed execution. And when you place a limit order, you are doing the opposite. You are choosing a price, but you are giving up certainty. You might get filled, or you might not. And even if you do, it might only be partially. They are just different trade-offs. Many traders don't just place limit orders and market orders. They also place stop losses, which are instructions that stay inactive until price hits a certain level. And when that level is reached, they turn into market orders. There are also take-profit orders, which are usually sell orders above the current price. So imagine the price of a stock starts to fall to a level where a lot of traders placed stop losses just below it. At that moment, those stops activate all at once and become market sells. Those new market sells don't wait for liquidity. They start consuming whatever bids are available, just like we saw before. But because they are happening on top of each other, they begin to push prices down faster. And as price drops further, it can trigger even more stop losses, which create even more market orders, which then consume even more liquidity. And this is why crashes often feel sudden. And that's how the order book works. It's just a constant interaction between urgency and patience, where price moves only when one side gives in. In highly liquid stocks, where there's a lot of volume and tight spreads, market orders usually behave smoothly. In thin or illiquid stocks, the same order can move price much more aggressively, because there simply isn't enough waiting liquidity to absorb it. It's all about recognizing the conditions you're in and adjusting accordingly. If you found the video helpful, please like and subscribe, and also let me know in the comments what you would like to see next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.